computer systems are compressed of three components, that is hardware, software and user. So here softwares are classified into two types, system software and application software. The application software which is designed for particular application is called application specific. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on software concept. I'm Revati, faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Before going to start my today's session, let me to see the weightage of this chapter. So dear student, from this chapter you can able to expect 5 marks. So here you're having 1 2-mark question and 1 3-mark question. If you study this chapter thoroughly, then you can able to score 5 marks and 1 2-mark question and 1 3-mark question. There is nothing but 2 plus 3, it is 5. So you can very easily score 5 marks in this chapter. Let's see what are the topic we are going to study in my today's session. At the beginning, we are having introduction. Then we are going to study the types of software. Along with that, we are going to study the computer language. Now, tell me why I required software. Without software, I cannot able to interact with the computer, or will computer works without software? So dear student, just remember one thing, that without any software, the computers are called dummy machine or dumb machine. Because with the help of software, the user can able to interact with the computer. So dear student, as we know that computer is an electronic device which is capable to accept the data from the user, process the data and return the result to the user. To perform all these activities, the user want to give the instruction to the computer. To give the instruction to the computer, we require programming language. So here, computer software and programming languages are interlinked. That means whatever the software we are going to have, that is designed by using computer language. So the computer is an electronic device which accepts data from the user, process the data or execute the data and returns the output to the user. So here a computer system includes, or computer systems are compressed of 3 components, that is hardware, software and user. Without these 3 components, the computers are called dummy machine. So what is software here? Here softwares are nothing but the instruction. To get the work done by the computer, I require software. That means whatever the instruction I'm going to provide to the computer, that is itself called software. For example, think that I want to add 2 numbers. If I use calculator, what I will do? I'll press number 2, then I'll press the operator plus, then I'll press number 3, then I'll press equal symbol, then I'm going to get the result 5. Now, the same operation I want to carry it out with the help of computer. For that, I need to write the program. That is nothing but the instruction. That means I'm going to instruct the computer system to perform the addition of 2 numbers. That means I'm going to give step-by-step instruction to the computer system that what are the things are carried out and what is my result. To perform these things, I required software. So what is software here? Software is nothing but a set of instruction given to the computer to perform certain or specific task. Now tell me, is it possible to touch the software? No. Is it possible to sense? No. So the softwares are not touched and not sensed. Then example for software, that is application software and our system software. That is nothing but operating systems like Windows, Linux and Unix, or even I can consider Baraha, Nudi, Tally, etc. Now what is hardware? So hardwares are the physical component. That means I can able to touch and I can able to feel. Then what about user? Users are the people or the person one is going to use the computer system. Then example for hardware is keyboard, mouse, etc. So what is hardware here? It consists of physical component of a computer. So here hardware is nothing but the physical component. So student, just remember what is hardware. Hardware is nothing but the physical component. Example is keyboard, mouse, printer, etc. Then what about software? So here softwares are nothing but instruction that tells the computer to perform intended task. That means if I tell the computer to perform addition operation, then the computer must able to perform only addition operation. If I tell the computer system to print, then the computers are able to print. So here intended task is nothing but specific task. So what is software here? The softwares are nothing but the set of instruction and it tells the computer to perform specific task. That means what are the tasks the computer want to perform and what are the tasks the computer does not want to perform. Now here I'm having the type of software. There are two type of softwares. So what is software here? That is nothing but set of instruction. As I know, the computers are dummy machine. If I want to get the work done by the computer, then I want to provide the instruction to the computer. Now, the softwares are classified or categorized into two types, that is system software and application software. So dear student, just remember one thing, that this is also one of the very important topic. Even you can expect this topic for 2 marks. And if you get the difference, then it is for 3 marks. There are certain situations you're going to get the question like, write the difference between software, that is system software and application software. Even you can expect this one for 2 marks or 3 marks. So here softwares are classified into two types, application software and system software. So what is system software? This software is required by the system to perform the task. I repeat, this software is essential part, because without system software, computer cannot able to perform any operation. So this is the very important part. Without system software, the computer cannot able to perform any task. So the system software is a computer program, or it's once again a set of instruction that controls system hardware and interacts with the application software. So why I required system software here? I want to interact with the hardware which is connected to the computer system. Along with that, I need to interact with the application software. For that reason, I required system software. I repeat, here system software is nothing but the computer program or set of instructions that is used to control system hardware. That means all the hardware which is connected to your computer system. Along with that, it interacts with the application software. So, system software is hardware dependent. So, what is hardware dependent here? Whatever the system software we are having, that is depends on the machine. For example, if I designed system software for Intel processor, then which is specific to that processor. If I design system software for the AMD processor, then which is dependent on the AMD processor. That means whatever the system software I am designed for Intel, then I cannot run that too in my AMD processor. So here system software is hardware dependent. That means whatever the system software I'm going to have, that is dependent on the software and not portable. That means I cannot carry one system software which is designed for particular platform to another platform. So it is not portable or not able to adapt. So here system software is nothing but hardware dependent and it is not portable. And system software provides a convenient environment for the program development and execution. Now, without system software, we cannot able to interact with the computers and we cannot able to execute the programs. Now, if I want to execute the program, then must have convenient environment. Then who is responsible for providing the convenient environment to run the program? That is nothing but the system software. So here system softwares are further categorized into three different types, that is language translator, operating system and utility software. So what is language translator here? To translate the language, that is from one language to another language, I require translator. And operating system. Without operating system, I cannot able to interact with the computer system. To interact with the computer system, I required some media. So here media is nothing but the operating system. And what about utility software? If I want to protect my computers from the unauthorized access or from the malicious activity, in certain times I want to take the backup. Those are the things comes under utility software, and these softwares are designed and developed by using programming languages like assembly level language or C, C++, Visual C++, Pascals. To develop system software or to develop system programs, we are going to use the programming languages like assembly level, C, C++, or Visual C++ and Pascals. So dear student, just remember here what is software, the type of software, along with the three different types of system softwares are very, very important from the examination point of view. Now, I'm having application software. So, what is application software? What's the need? Suppose if the user want to perform his own task, that is done by using application software. So here application softwares are the software or computer program that is used to perform some specific task. In general word, the application software is nothing but the software that is designed based on the user requirement or based on the user need. For example, that I want to maintain a balance sheet. For that, one software is designed and developed. There's nothing but Tally. So this Tally is designed based on the user requirement or based on the user request. So here the Tally is example for application software. So what is application software? Your application software is nothing but the instruction or set of instruction that has been written to process or perform some specific task or particular task. So application softwares are generally written or developed by using high-level programming language. So here, what are the two things you need to remember? That is, what is application software, and it is written by using high-level programming language, and it is mainly going to focus on the application or the usage of the application, but it's not going to focus on the computing system. So if I consider application software, it's mainly going to focus on the application and it's not going to bother about the computing system. Here, the application softwares are further categorized into two types, that is application specific and general purpose. So what are the two type of application software? That is application specific and general purpose. So what is application specific? The application software which is designed for particular application is called application specific. And what about general purpose? The application software which is designed for general purpose is called general purpose application software. So the application specific software is created to execute an specific task. So as the name itself indicates that it is application specific. That means whatever the application software we are going to design, that must capable to perform specific or exact task, that is called application specific software. For example, I have taken Tally. That means if I want to maintain balance sheet, then I'm going to use Tally. If I want to type the document in Kannada, I'm going to use Baraha or Nudi, and which is designed to perform specific or intended task, that is called application software, and it has limited task. If I consider Tally, it is responsible for performing all the account related operation. If I consider Baraha or Nudi, that is only for Kannada, and it has its own limits, that is called limited task. That means it is capable to perform only limited task. And if I consider general purpose software, there is no limit. That means it can able to perform any kind of task. So the general purpose software is not limited to perform only one function. That means it is most commonly used application software and responsible for performing all general kinds of functions. Example, I'm having Microsoft Office Toolkit. Under that, I'm having MS Word, MS Excel, then I'm having PowerPoint, etc. And even this Oracle is also example for general purpose software. So here application softwares are classified into two types, that is specific purpose and general purpose. So what is specific purpose? That means the software which is designed to perform specific or intended or exact task. And what about general purpose? It is commonly designed to perform general functions or general tasks. This table gives the overall information about computer software. So, what is computer software? We know. Now, the computer softwares are classified into two types, that is application software and system software. Here, application software is further classified into two types, that is application specific and general purpose. Here, the system software is also classified into four different types, that is language translator. Under language translator, we are having assembler, compiler and interpreter. Anyway, we are going to study all these topics in my next session. Under operating system, I'm having Linux operating system and Unix operating system, Windows operating system. That means these are the example for operating system. And we are having utility software. As I told, these utility softwares are mainly used to maintain the data and to maintain the backup or to take the backup. So here utility softwares are nothing but the software. It is used to protect our computer system from the malicious activities and from the hacking. And I'm having loader and linker. So these are the certain type of softwares comes under system software. So the system softwares are broadly classified into three types, that is language translator, operating system and utility software. Along with that, we are having loader and linker. The loader and linker, once again it comes under system software. So here I'm having introduction to the computer language. So what is computer language? Why I require computer language? What is the need? Everything we are going to study under this session. So what is computer language? Suppose if I want to interact with the computer, I must know certain language, that is itself called computer language. Dear student, just consider the example that if I want to interact with my student, how can I interact? What is the media I required? To interact with the student, I required some communication media, that is itself called language. And if I consider computers are able to understand only machine language, that is nothing but zeros and ones. Now I require programming language. So here programming language is nothing but the set of instruction or set of rules, that is called syntax. So what is programming language here? Here programming language is nothing but set of rules and which is called syntax. If I want to done my work by the computer, I must have programming language. That means whatever the instruction I'm going to provide to the computer system, that is in the form of programming language. So what is programming language here? Here programming language is nothing but set of rules and it is called syntax, which user has to follow. That means while instructing to the computer, I want to follow the rules, because if I instruct the computer by using my local language or by English, computer will not perform any activity, because computer understands only machine language. To instruct computers, I must have programming language. And while using programming language, I must have to follow certain rules. So here, which is used to instruct the computer to perform the operation. That means to instruct the computer what operations are to be performed. That means I'm going to instruct the computer system that what are the operations the computer want to carry out and what are the operations the computer don't want to perform. So here, what is programming language? It is nothing but set of rules is called syntax. By using this, I'm going to instruct the computer system that what are the works or what are the operations are to be performed or carried out. Now, in programming language, we are having two main type of programming language. That means the programming languages are mainly classified into two types, that is low level programming language and high level programming language. So what is low level programming language? The native language itself called programming language. If I consider computer system, what is the native language the computer system uses? That is nothing but the machine language or binary. And if you ask me what is my native language or what is my mother tongue, that is Kannada or English or Hindi. So here, what is low level language? Here, low level language is nothing but the native language, and the native language itself called low level language. And what about high level language? It's like English language, and it's very easily understood by the computer system. So there are two types of programming language. One is low level programming language and another one is machine level programming language. Here, the low level programming language is further classified into two types, that is machine level language and assembly level language. And if I consider high level programming language, this is also further classified into two types, that is general purpose language and specific purpose language. Under general purpose programming language, we are having basics and Pascal. And if I consider specific purpose language, then I'm having COBOL and Fortran. So what is COBOL here? Common business oriented language and formula translator. That's nothing but Fortran. So these are the type of computer language. Now I'm having machine language. So the machine language comes under low level language because the computer language is nothing but the low level language, that is nothing but the native language, that is nothing but the machine language or machine code. So a machine language is the fundamental language of computer. Now what is the mother tongue of computer? That is nothing but machine language, because computer understands only 0 and 1. Now, what is the mother tongue? That is nothing but the machine level language. So, what is the mother tongue of computer? That is nothing but machine level language. And it is written using binary numbers. That means the machine level languages are written by using binary numbers, that is nothing but 0 and 1. So, here 0 is nothing but low or off state and false state. If I consider 1, then high, then on or true value. So here machine languages are written by using binary numbers, that is 0 and 1. Now a program written in the machine level language is called machine code. Now, whatever the program we are going to write that is written by using machine level language is called machine code. Now, the instructions are provided in machine language is directly understood by the computer, because computer understands only machine code. By using machine level language, whatever the instruction we are going to provide, that is directly understood by the computer, and it is converted into electrical signals to run computer. That means whatever the instruction we are going to provide to the computer system in the form of machine level language, once again that is converted into electronic signals. That is nothing but the voltage, that is high voltage and low voltage to run the computer. So here high voltage is nothing but 1 and low voltage is nothing but 0. Then I'm having some example here. This is the example for machine level language. So here I'm having statement and what are the actions the computer want to perform. And if I consider statement, here I'm having 8-bit and here I'm having 4-bit. So the 4 bits are used to represent opcode, that is nothing but operation code. That means I'm going to specify what kind of operation the computer want to perform. And this is 8-bit. So here I'm going to use 8-bit to represent operand. That is nothing but the address or location where the data are stored. Now, if I consider first statement at the beginning, I'm going to have opcode, then I'm having operand. So 4-bit is used to represent opcode, 8-bit is used to represent operand. And if I consider this one, what's the instruction? That is load the data. Dear student, the computer understands only machine level language, that is nothing but zeros and ones. And if I consider this example, is it possible to understand what kind of operation the computer is going to perform? No, because all the bits are written in the form of zeros and ones. So it is very difficult to understand, but computer understands very easily, because here we does not require any translator, because whatever the program or whatever the instruction we are going to write by using machine level programming language, that can be easily understood by the computer. So an instruction given in the machine language has 2 parts, that is opcode and operand. So 8-bit is used to represent operand and 4-bit is used to represent opcode. And here we are going to have the action part. That means in front of each statement or each instruction, we are having operation. That means the particular instructions are written to perform specific action or specific operation. Now, the first 4-bit represents opcode, denoting operation such as load, move, store, etc. So, according to the example, first 4 bits are used to represent opcode. So, what is opcode here? Opcode is nothing but operation code. That means what kind of operation we are going to perform. For example, that may be load the program, or that may be move the content to the memory, or that may be store the content. So here opcode is nothing but operational code. That means what kind of operation the computer want to perform, either load or move or store. And the last 8-bit represent the operand, denoting the address. So the last bit is used to represent the address, that is nothing but the operand. Now tell me why I required address here. Dear student, we know that all the data are stored in the computer memory. Now I want to access the data. To access the data, I required address. So the last 8-bit, the operand denoting the address, where I'm going to get the data or content which is stored in the computer memory. Now I'm going to get the data from the memory. To denote that, I required operand. So here operand denotes the address. That is nothing but the address of the memory location. Then what is the advantage here? It can be directly typed and directly executed because computer understands only machine language, and whatever the instruction we are going to provide, that is in the form of machine language. So it is directly typed and directly executed by the computer system. So here we does not require any compiler or any translator. Dear student, now tell me what is the disadvantage of machine level programming language? That is nothing but it is machine dependent. That means whatever the instruction or program which is written by using machine level programming language is machine dependent, and it is very difficult to program, modify and debug. This is the disadvantage of machine level programming. Then we are having assembly level programming. So what is assembly level language? It is a low level programming language. That means here assembly level programming language is example for low level programming language that allows the user to write programs using letters, symbols and words called mnemonics. In assembly level programming language, the user can able to write the programming by using symbols, letters, words, and it is called mnemonics. A program written in assembly level language is called assembly code. That means whatever the program I'm going to write by using assembly level language is called assembly code. Dear student, let me to consider this simple example here. This is the statement and this is the action. So this one is example for mnemonics. So what is mnemonics here? Symbols, words are called mnemonics here. So STA, that means load the data to the accumulator. Suppose if I want to load the data to the accumulator register in my assembly level language, I'm going to use the mnemonics. Then if I want to add the content of B with the accumulator, then I'm going to have add B. And after adding, if I want to store the result in the location C, then I'm having the mnemonics, that is STRC. And if I want to print the result, for that I'm going to have the mnemonics, that is PTR. That means print or output the C. Now, if I want to stop, I'm having halt. That is nothing but HLT. So, the translator program that converts an assembly code to machine code is called an assembler. Now, this is the example for assembly level language. And the computer cannot able to understand assembly level language, because computer understands only machine code. Now, I want to convert this assembly level language to machine level. For that reason, I'm going to use the translator. So, what is translator here? The job of the translator is to convert assembly level programming language to the machine level or machine code, that is called assembler. So what is assembly code? That is nothing but the program which is written by using assembly level language. Now I want to convert this assembly code to machine code. For that reason, I required assembler. Then what is the advantage? So mnemonics codes are easy to remember. See here, we are having certain mnemonics and it is easy to remember the mnemonics. So that is the advantage here. Mnemonics code are easy to remember, easy to understand, easy to modify and easy to debug. And what is the disadvantage here? These languages are the mnemonics are the machine dependent. That means whatever the mnemonics we are having, that is purely written for particular machine, that is machine dependent. And assembly language programming takes longer to code. That means to write programs or instruction by using assembly level language, it takes long time. That means it takes long time to write the instruction by using assembly level language. So what are the disadvantage we are having here? One is all the mnemonics are machine dependent, and another one, it takes time to write the program. These are the disadvantage of assembly level program. Then we are having high level language. So what is high level language here? A language is designed to make programming easier through the use of familiar English word and symbols. So dear student, just remember one thing here. When it comes to high level programming language, the programming language uses English word and some symbols. That means the programs are written by using some English words along with some symbols. So high level language used English like language which are easy to learn and easy to use. When compared to assembly level language and machine level language, which is the easy programming language, here is high level programming language because it uses English language along with some special symbols. To remember, to understand and to learn English language is very easy. For that reason, to learn high level programming language is also easy. So high level languages are machine independent. That means whatever the high level programming language we have, all are machine independent. That means whatever the instruction or program we are going to write by using high level programming language, that is machine independent. That means I can able to run same program in some other machine. Dear student, just think that I'm going to write a simple program by using high level language, and if I run same program in some other machine called P2, then I can able to run without any modification because here high level language is machine independent. That means whatever the program I'm going to write by using high level language, I can run same program in some other machine without making any modification. So some of the high level programming languages are C, C++, Java, Fortran, QBasic and Pascal. So this is the simple example for high level programming language, and this is the simple code for C++ program. Now, if I want to read two input from the keyboard, I'm going to use Cin. Then I'm going to pass A and B. Now, I want to perform addition. So, A plus B, after adding what I want to do? I want to store the result in C. Now, I want to print the output. So, this is the simple example and it is written by using high level programming language. And if I see this code, I'm using some English language like Cin. This is the letter which present in English language, and these are some symbols. Even this is also symbols. This double quote are also example for symbols. So here high level programming language is nothing but English language along with some symbols. However, a program in high level language has to be converted into equivalent machine language, because computer understands only machine language, and whatever the program which is written by using high level programming language, that must be translated or converted into machine language or machine code, that can be done by using compiler. So the translator program that converts a high level code to machine code is called compiler. So what is translator here? The translator program that converts high level program to machine code is called compiler, because computer understands only the machine code. Now I want to convert this high level programming language into machine understandable form. For that reason, I'm going to use the translator called compiler. Now the compiler is responsible for converting high level code to the machine level code or machine code. Now tell me, what is the advantage of high level programming language? That is, it is machine independent. That means for each and every machine, I don't want to write separate program. That means if I write one program, then I can able to run that program in n number of machines. That is called machine independent, and it is very easy to learn and understand because it uses English language along with some special symbols. By using these, we can very easily learn and understand C++ programming language, and it is very easy to modify the code, and it is very easy to find the errors. So what is debugging? Here debug is nothing but finding the errors and executing the program. So these are the advantages of high level programming language. One is machine independent, easy to learn and understand, easy to modify. So what is modify? Making changes in the program and finding error is called debugging. Then what is the disadvantage I'm having? So the execution of high level programming language is slow, because I need to convert this high level language to machine level language, and it takes time because I need to translate. For that reason, high level programming language is slower in execution. Even it requires compiler to convert the source code to object. That means I required compiler to convert my high level programming language to machine level language. I required compiler. The last disadvantage here is high level language takes more time to execute and require more memory. To execute high level programs, we require much time, and it occupies or it takes more memory space. So these are the three disadvantages of high level language. One is slower execution. Second one is it takes much time to execute, and it requires more memory space, and it requires translator to convert one form to another form. These are the disadvantage of high level programming language. So dear student, in my today's session, we started with what is software. Then we had discussion regarding the type of software, that is application software and system software. Under application software, we had discussion regarding two type of application software, that is general and specific. Under system software, we had discussion regarding operating system, translator and utility software. Then we had discussion regarding programming language. Under programming language, we had discussion regarding machine level language, assembly level language and high level language. So these are the certain topics we discussed in my today's session. Dear student, in my next session, I'm going to discuss language translators. Along with that, I'm going to discuss linker and loader and utility software. Anyway, dear students, let's meet in my next session with some more information about language translator, linker and loader and utility software. Until then, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.